Due to circumstances beyond our control, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley is back on the air. Happy Thursday to you, the day before the weekend. It is the 4th day of April, 2019. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day with us. Hope you enjoy the next hour of news, sports, conversation, entertainment, and all the goofy stuff that we do to get your day going here in the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington. We're in for a very interesting weekend weather-wise. There's a series of storms, not big dramatic storms, just, one system after the other is going to bring us periodic rain and the occasional sunbreak and a little bit of wind. Is very typical April weather, early April weather. We need to remember that. We're not that far into spring, and spring goes all the way to June 20th, so we got some work to do there. We'll talk about your weather forecast. Newsroom was very busy yesterday. We got the latest Thursday morning headlines for you. The Wenatchee Wild, their backs are against the proverbial wall. Got shut out last night up in Vernon. So they got to get it done tomorrow at the Town Toyota Center or their season comes to an end. In fact, they got to win the next 3 in a row to move on to the Fred Page Cup Finals. We'll have highlights from last night coming up in sports. Also, we have the obscure holiday birthdays today in history. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. It's Thursday. Kennel Cameos will be dropping by. Precious the dog needs a home. We'll see if we can help that out. And in the second half of the program, our conversation, Pat Quinn-Williams is back again. Pat, of course, is one of the big organizers of the Walk MS, the MS Walk, which is coming up on April 20th at Walla Walla Point Park. Pat comes in every year at this time to drum up support for the good folks. See if we can eradicate multiple sclerosis once and for all. That big fundraiser is on the 20th. Our conversation with Pat live in the studio is coming your way in about a half an hour. Coming your way right now is our trip around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. We'll start out as usual with the cross camera, and we'll go from there. The only one I know that we're going to use is the cross camera. After that, Megan springs them on me in a surprise, and I have to decide where we're going. There, of course, is the Wenatchee Valley. The rivers and streams are doing fine. Had no flooding problems at all this year, and we're pretty much done with that. The last couple of years, we've had very high water coming down from the Cascades and from British Columbia. The spit out there at Walla Walla Point Park got washed away last year. Remember that? It's usually an issue. Not so much this year. I like that. And as you can see, pretty much the snow's gone. Except there's still big piles of snow in parking lots. I've noticed that. And they're all black and glucky. So, all right, camera number 2 is a beautiful view of Rock Island. I went golfing there, of course, on Sunday. Walked it because it's good exercise, and I play better when I walk. It's as simple as that. Good morning, Rock Island. Thanks for joining us. Nice view there. I got the Free Kids Fishing Day, I believe, is coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll have to do some research on that. They usually have it right out there at the Rock Island Pond. They stock it. The kids go out and learn how to fish. It's a really cool deal. I'll do some homework on that and maybe get some of the folks involved with the Free Kids Fishing Day on this program. Where are we going to next, Megan? We're going to go out to Monument Valley. There is beautiful Quincy, the hamlet of Quincy. Opportunities are unlimited out there. Monument Hill is about the highest peak anywhere out there in the Quincy area, so it's got a lot of things up there. It's got a lot of transmitters and repeaters and translators and all kinds of cool stuff, including our Sky-Fi camera looking out over Quincy. And finally, camera 4. Are we up to 4? We are up to 4. Oh, she threw a curveball at me. Stamen Flats, I'm guessing here. Oh, she's shaking her head. Okay, Megan, you're going to have to tell me because I thought that was Stamen Flats. I don't know what that is. I still think it's Stamen Flats. Oh, it's Hose Landing. Okay. Oh, pointing. Okay. Oh, she pulled a fast one on me. That is Hose Landing. Normally, we have that pointed in the other direction. We actually have it pointed up the Columbia and not down the Columbia. So that's just the outskirts of Antioch there. I'm assuming that we're looking at from Hose Landing on the Douglas County side of the Columbia River. So that concludes our tour of the day. It's free. It's absolutely no charge at all. We were going to charge a nickel a tour, then we figured out how the heck we're going to do that. So we decided against it. It's absolutely free. Love those views, incredible views. All right, from the National Weather Service, let's take a look at the forecast. And boy, it's a little bit of everything. It's a weather smorgasbord, so belly up to the buffet. And let's do it. Not a lot today. Pretty quiet today. Partly cloudy, high of about 60. It's about normal. Yesterday's high was 64, which was a little bit above normal. Yesterday's low was 46, which was a little bit above normal. So it was a mild day for early April. And we're going to have that again today. And then things get interesting. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 different storm systems, a series of storm systems are going to start moving through the area with periodic rain. Starts this evening, lasts through all the weekend and right on into early next week. As a matter of fact, it's going to be a long period of unsettled weather. Nothing today, really. Partly sunny, high of about 60. We'll take that. Rain tonight in the overnight hours, about midnight to about 6 or 7 in the morning. 60% chance of rain there. 45 for the overnight low. Friday, going to see some afternoon rain. We'll dry out Friday morning, then the next system comes through Friday afternoon and Friday evening. It's going to be cloudy and a high of 59. 70% chance of rain on Friday. Again, most of it in the afternoon. Into Friday night with an overnight low of around 40. And then Saturday looks to be the worst day of the weekend. If you have outdoor plans, you're going to have everything. You're going to have some rain. You're going to have some intermittent showers. It's going to be windy and it's going to be cool. We could have wind will be south wind, which doesn't happen too much around here, but winds could gust as high as 18 miles an hour on Saturday. Saturday night, rain but no wind, 42 for the overnight low. Sunday, we wrap up the weekend, but lots of clouds. Again, a chance of rain, high of 59. Monday, lots of clouds, chance of rain, high of 59. Tuesday, partly sunny, high of 61. So we're going to have intermittent rain showers off and on overnight tonight all the way through overnight Monday into Tuesday. We could use the rain, though. We're actually, I know we had that cold, snowy February and that very cold March, but we're actually a little behind on our rain. The rainy season begins October 1st, and we're actually a little on the dry side. We could use some rain, and Mother Nature's going to give us rain pretty much all weekend long, off and on. 7 minutes after they are going to take a break. When we come back, we have your Thursday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Welcome back. 9 minutes after the hour. Fair skies, 45 degrees. Partly cloudy today, high of about 60. The rain will come in tonight, and then intermittent showers, hit and miss rain showers all the way through the weekend. Going to be cloudy and a little rainy. Here's what's making headlines. Looks like an early wildfire season this year in the Lake Chelan area, following 2 small brush fires in the North Shore area that were toned out yesterday afternoon. Chelan Fire and Rescue responded to the first blaze that broke out behind a home in the Perdaman Gulch Boyd Road area. That was on Whitetail Way. 6 homes placed under level 1 evacuation advisories. None were immediately threatened. The fire was small. In fact, it was only about 3 acres. It went to 3 alarms, but it was mopped up with the assistance of crews from DNR and other local districts. And then a second brush fire was put out in the Union Valley area at about 5:45 yesterday afternoon. No information yet about what caused the 2 fires. Warmer temperatures and brisk afternoon winds combined to fuel those fires. Thanks to Brock Heyer from the Okanagan Chronicle. He shared this video you're about to see. This is of an injury accident from Wednesday morning. He reports a local man being treated at Mid-Valley Hospital. His pickup truck plunged into the Columbia River off Juniper Street in Omak. Witnesses reported the unidentified driver was able to swim to shore on his own before emergency crews arrived. Okanagan County Sheriff's diver Ted Shook assisted in the recovery of the pickup truck from the river. We hope everybody is okay. New safety upgrades continue at the Chelan County Regional Jail under County Commissioner oversight. The Wenatchee Jail undergoing significant changes both structurally and operationally to address concerns of inadequate staffing and training as well as unsafe work conditions at the facility. Commissioner Kevin Overbay provided NCW Life a status report on the project after Jail Manager Bill Larson presented the board with his long-term strategic plan earlier in the week.
Now we still have the annex is still being remodeled, and once that is done, they'll move those folks that are part of the inmate worker program back into that facility. But they're actually looking at starting that program up probably within the next couple of weeks, and having that in advance of them moving back in. So,
how would you describe the situation down there operationally right now, as far as safety, and especially for the workers there and for the inmates as well?
Well, they've actually, there's been a couple of things that they've addressed. They've addressed a lot of the training shortfalls that we had in the past, and so they're in the process of moving forward with that. Doing the enhancements of the facility itself, pass-through doors and things like that. They're moving forward with getting those pieces in. And we also got a brief yesterday on the camera system, and so the enhancements are on their way and are progressing, day by day. He has a lot of his leadership team is actually assigned to these different projects and bringing that information in, and he has a lot of support from our board as far as making these upgrades. It's an aged facility, and it didn't age overnight, but it's not going to take it's going to take more than one day to get it done. But we are progressing in a positive direction on that. The morale is very high over there, and we do have some folks that are moving on to other entities, and actually enhancing in their career to other law enforcement entities, and so that will create just a little bit of a vacuum as far as staffing goes. But we'll get those positions filled and recruit new folks in and be able to provide a great level of service.
Where do we stand right now as far as jail population? Is there an overcrowding issue?
We don't have an overcrowding issue at this time. Generally in the spring we have a tendency to see our inmate population grow as spring hits, but right now we're really actually in pretty good shape.
Commissioner Overbay added that his board is negotiating a possible deal with Douglas County to house some of their inmates at the Wenatchee facility rather than transporting them up to the Okanagan County Jail, which is their jail of record. Overbay says it would only involve pre-trial prisoners charged with minor misdemeanor offenses. Well, a settlement has reportedly been reached between former State House Representative Matt Manuela and his former employer, Central Washington University. Several news organizations, including Northwest News Network, say the Manuela's lawsuit against the university has been settled for $155,000. In the original court filing, Manuela had sought $2 million in damages. The action was brought in Kittitas County Superior Court after Manuela was fired from his position as a political science professor in August. CWU alleged in a workplace conduct investigation that Manuela had engaged in inappropriate behavior with female students over the course of 13 years. Court documents say CWU did not admit any liability, will not pay Manuela's attorney's fee. Manuela has steadfastly denied any wrongdoing, but in the subsequent media interviews, he acknowledged that he might have been too casual or flirtatious with female students. He won re-election to the House, but declared before the election that he would not serve. Ideal Option, Washington State's largest provider of medication-assisted treatment for individuals suffering from opioid use disorders, has opened a new location in East Wenatchee. The new location will provide North Central Washington residents struggling with addictions to opioids and other drugs increased access to evidence-based and personalized addiction treatment. This includes comprehensive physical and mental assessments. The East Wenatchee location adds to their network across Eastern and Central Washington. They have facilities in the Tri-Cities, Yakima, Sunnyside, Walla Walla, Spokane, and Pullman, and now in East Wenatchee. They accept Medicaid and Medicare patients as well as private insurance. They are located at 667 Grant Road, Suite number 3. Yesterday, the community organization Wenatchee 1 Million Cups celebrated their 1-year anniversary. It was started by the Kauffman Foundation in 2012. 1 Million Cups is a free monthly event meant to bring together local entrepreneurs and community members, and they help educate, engage, and inspire each other over coffee and conversation. The volunteer and organizer of the Wenatchee chapter, Stacy Lukensmeyer, takes a look back over the previous year.
So today has been our 1-year anniversary for 1 Million Cups, and we've had over 20 different presenters over the last year whose business has been somewhere in those startup stages between 0 and 5 years. And over through that time, we've seen an amazing audience of community members. We have about a third of the people that show up every month that are regulars. About a third of the people are those who come frequently, often. And then we have about a third of our group who we haven't seen before. So we're still building our reach for this event, still building awareness with people about what this event does, with the ultimate goal being to show and build our community of supporters for entrepreneurs in our area. Small business is what makes it happen. And the best stories are the ones that start in a garage or in a home. We want to do everything we can to help them grow and build their dream.
Finally, this morning, all this week, we've been showing you little snippets of the latest edition of the NCW Life Channel magazine, profiling local artists from North Central Washington. Earlier in the week, we visited with Radar Station's Ron Evans. Well, we're going to pay another visit with Ron right now to talk about his upcoming installation show entitled The Mothership.
My name is Ron Evans. I'm an artist, although I've been called much worse. I also own and run Radar Station. For some reason in the fine art world, and I do use fine loosely, painting has been king for a long time. And so that's why I spent my earlier days learning to paint. And I enjoy certain aspects of painting, and I sell quite a few of my paintings. But if I could make a living, in terms of making art, making the sculptures, doing this, finding random pieces of junk and putting them together is really satisfying to me. I don't really enjoy painting. I'm not a Bob Ross kind of, let's sit down here and have ourselves relax and paint. That's a beautiful day. I'm not like that. I am swearing up a storm and smashing things sometimes. I don't have a temper in general, but I've lost my temper a lot when creating. It's not easy for me. Painting never came easily, and I guess it's not supposed to be easy, but in terms of like that enjoyable, cathartic experience, making these kinds of like robotic, spacey sculptures, I guess you can call them sculptures. This is more of an installation show, The Mothership, that I'm working on right now. But it's kind of like creating your own Lego sets. It's that satisfying thing where you just sit down and put it all together, but instead of following an instruction book, you're making up the pieces, and you're just kind of looking around the house, and I constantly am pulling things off of the walls, like, well, that picture frame had its day, and now it's time to paint it orange, paint a lot of things orange, and then nail it to a board and make it look like a spaceship portal. Like I said, I go through a lot of utensils, kitchen utensils, and old blenders, but modern design does not offer me many options, so I usually have to go digging through secondhand stores for older things. Like I use a lot of oven rings for portals and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's definitely my favorite way to create. And like I said, you can arrange them in a pattern that's sort of fits. And because I didn't like it, there were just two dots. I've actually got it set so when I put them together, it'll be more like that. You can kind of see the effect. Let's see, the idea for the Mothership came a couple of weeks ago, so I've only been working on it for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And it came to me in a panic when I realized I hadn't booked the next month yet. I'd had the month after that booked, and maybe even the month after that, but not the immediate next month. I was like, what do I got? So I got the idea to just do a sci-fi themed show, which I hadn't done in a couple of years. But then I started thinking about all these pieces that I'd been collecting to do something with as decor at the bar, and I started working on them, and it just got bigger and bigger, and I liked how it was coming together, so I just decided to make that an installation show, and that will be part of First Friday in April. I don't know which one came first. The recycling aspect of this type of sculpture is something that I later appreciated about it and felt good about it. It's like, well, these tartar sauce cups can either go in the ocean or they can become a spaceship. And I realize it's not gonna last forever. Who knows what will happen to any of this stuff when I'm dead and gone, but at least for a while, it's something a little bit more interesting than something in a landfill. But in terms of looking back, like I said, the retro futuristic style is just always something that appealed to me.
Good stuff from Caitlin. And again, the latest episode of NCW Life magazine and all of the previous episodes, for that matter, are available on our website. We have archived them at ncwlife.com. And look at the bottom of your screen. Those are the tools that we have made available for you to get a hold of us. Again, the website, ncwlife.com. If you click on the Contact Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you can fill out the form, push send, and we get it. You can send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. You can pick up the telephone and give us a call at 888-NCWL. That rings to somebody's desk, not mine. You can also Facebook us, go to our Facebook page, like us, send us a private message there, whatever it takes. We love to hear from you, our viewers. And don't forget the news with Grant Olson will come your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10. 3 chances to catch up on what happened on this Thursday, the evening news with Grant Olson. He also handles the weather forecast. He doesn't handle the weather. He's not that important. It's 22 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports. Boy, the Wenatchee Wild, they're in a big hole now. We got Wild highlights coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, this is Justin at Club Crow Bar and Grill reminding you it's your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Jam sessions and live bands playing a wide range of music. If pool tables or pull tabs are more your thing, we have you covered. Enjoy the fun and food at Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Stop on by today.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We'll do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Welcome back. 23 minutes after the hour on this Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Still to come, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays, kennel cameos. Everyone is entitled to my Magnani's opinion, and my conversation with Pat Quinn-Williams. The big MS Walk is coming up on April 20th. We got a busy 35 minutes, so let's go right on into sports. And for the first time this postseason, the Wenatchee Wild were shut out last night in Vernon. Final 3-0. So in the process, the Vernon Vipers now have a commanding 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. It's back here in the big city tomorrow night, Game 5. The Vipers got on the board midway through the first period. Matt Kowalski scored the 6th goal of the playoffs for him. That gave Vernon a 1-0 lead. Connor Merritt scored a power play goal in the second, and then Josh Latta scored an empty netter with 8 seconds remaining. That provided the final tally. Art Checker with the call to the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network. Video courtesy of Hockey TV.
Merritt angles it back to the near point for Judson. Judson drifts over to his right, shot through traffic, loose puck, score. Matt Kowalski on the rebound. Then back to Williamson, over to Judson. He shoots, save made, rebound, push just wide. Instead it's to the left point for Watson. Watson comes to the near side, scissors it over for Young, his shot, save made, rebound, score. Park had made the initial save, but it bounced off his body and got smacked in midair. Power play goal for the Vipers. They lead it 2-0. Herzog ahead for Tellier. He cranks, he shoots, save made, rebound, shot, oh, just sent wide by Reifenberger. A wide open opportunity. And Reifenberger's opportunity did not convert. Lansdale gently throws it off the left boards. Usher to play it. Lansdale took a big run at Usher, and Usher sidestepped it, and Lansdale planted himself into the boards. Usher tried to put a check on. There's a save, rebound, save again, and Wooding's got it. Back up top to the circle. Watson's shot, and that one just goes wide. Parks lost his stick, but the whistle's going to blow as we get some shoving at the top of the crease. Here's Dorsey on the right side. Dorsey in, back, across, loose puck. Arnold jams at it, and it's covered up by Porter. Sasaki threads it down low for Hodges. His shot just trickles wide. Hit a skate and deflected just wide of the net. Dorsey's got it. From the circle, sends it down low. Stratton twisted it out in front for Hodges. Broken up but not out of the zone. Leaping Sasaki held it in. 13 seconds left. And Latta throws it towards the empty net. Finds it. And the Vipers will take a 3-1 series lead.
Yeah, for the Wild, they got to win tomorrow. It's as simple as out at the Town Toyota Center. They could use a big crowd, drawing some of that energy. Tickets are just $10. They're available through the Wild office. They'll drop the puck tomorrow night at 7:05. Now, historically, the Wild are 4-5 in playoff elimination games. They beat West Kelowna in Game 7, of course, earlier this playoff series, 6-3 at home. Their other 3 elimination game victories came at home. We'd like that. Back in 2011, they had a 2-1 win over Fairbanks. In 2012, a 2-1 win over Alaska. And in 2013, a 3-1 win over Fairbanks. So when playing elimination games at home, Wenatchee is 4-2 on home ice. Hopefully they can make that 5-2 tomorrow. There's your schedule today. In Big Nine Baseball, the Wenatchee Panthers travel to Davis. Doubleheader. First game starts at 3 o'clock. Eastmont's hosting Sunnyside in a doubleheader. That begins at 4. Our crew will be there. Joel Norman, providing play-by-play, will air one of the games tomorrow night at 7 here on the NCW Life channel. Also today, Chelan hosts Warden at 4 o'clock. High school soccer, Manson hosts Okanagan at 4. Brewster travels to Kashmir. 4:30 kickoff there. Russell Wilson has reportedly set an April 15th deadline for a contract extension to be worked out with the Seahawks. Now, he still has another year on his current contract, but the Seattle Times reported this week that Wilson would like to get a deal done by April 15th so we can concentrate on the upcoming NFL season. NFL insiders believe Wilson could command an annual salary of $35 million. That's a lot of money. Or $100 million guaranteed. There's also discussion that if a deal isn't worked out by April 15th, the Seahawks could apply the franchise tag on Wilson in 2020 and 2021. Mariner game against Chicago has already been postponed. There's rain in the forecast. We're not even going to bother trying to get the game in. So the two teams are going to make it up with what was an open day in the 3-game series. And now they're going to play 3 games in 3 days. UC Kikuchi will get the start on the mound against the White Sox. Ronaldo Lopez. Kikuchi still looking for his first Major League win. Lopez is 0-2 with a 9 ERA. First pitch tomorrow. By the way, it's opening day in Chicago is at 11:10 a.m. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday. Let's do the obscure holiday of the day today. And today is, well, Tell a Lie Day. Yeah. And I'm not lying, I promise. Yeah. April 4th is Tell a Lie Day. We're not celebrating lying. That's not what we're here to do. We're just acknowledging that lying is a part of life. And who's kidding who? Lying is a part of life, especially when you lie to, well, you want to make somebody else feel better. You know, if you tell them the truth, you're going to hurt their feelings or it's going to be bad news. And so you just lie. It's easier. So that's, it's okay with that. I mean, there are some games that require you to lie. Poker, for one thing. If you can't bluff, you ain't going to win in poker. It's as simple as that. And then there's the honest lie, when you make an untruthful statement, but you didn't have any malicious intent. But the vast majority of us, when we tell lies to make other people feel better. So today is Tell a Lie Day. Really, it is. I wouldn't lie to you. 29 minutes after the hour. We got 5 big things that happened on this date in history, including the 201st birthday of that, the American flag. On April 4th, 1818, 201 years ago today, the United States Congress adopted the flag of the United States, and it's been that way ever since. That's when they decided to go with 13 red and white stripes and then 1 star for each state as they were added. Before that, they would add 1 star and 1 stripe to the flag, and it started to look a little cattywampus when they had 19 stars and 19 stripes, and it was like, it just didn't look good. And so Sam Reed, who was a captain in the United States Navy, he came up with the idea, as we add states to the Union, they get a star on the flag, but we'll keep the 13 stripes in honor of the 13 original colonies. So that's where that came from. And the flag as we know it came into existence on this date 201 years ago today. Happy 169th birthday to Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles was incorporated as a city on April 4th, 1850. Fun facts about LA. The LA County Coroner's Office, the Coroner's Office in LA County, has a gift shop. What would you buy there? Pickles cannot be manufactured within the downtown industrial zone. I don't know why. And if you've ever been to LA and you've driven around LA, it's impossible to find a parking spot. There's a simple reason for that. There are more automobiles than people in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is 169 years old today. 55 years ago today, something that happened on the Billboard Hot 100 that will never happen again. The incredible achievement of the Beatles. They occupied the top 5 positions on the Billboard Hot 100 pop chart that was released on April 4th, 1964. Please, Please Be at number 5. I Want to Hold Your Hand at number 4. Roll Over Beethoven at number 3. Love Me Do at number 2. Can't Buy Me Love was the number 1 song in the country. They also had 9 other records on the chart, so they had 14 songs on the Billboard Hot 100, including the top 5 on this date. 55 years ago today, 51 years ago today, April 4th, 1968, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. shot to death, assassinated by James Earl Ray at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. He was 39 years old, and Microsoft is 44 years old today. It was the original, that's Microsoft. It doesn't fit, apparently. That's the original Microsoft logo. It was founded between Bill Gates and Paul Allen. They put their money together in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Quiet little company. See what we can do. 44 years ago today. Last year, Microsoft, their net revenue, $21.2 billion. Worked out pretty good. Microsoft is 44 years old today. And finally, we got birthdays. McKinley Morganfield was his real name. We all know him as Muddy Waters, the legendary bluesman, one of the best of all time. Also a great band leader. Hoochie Coochie Man, Rollin' and Tumblin'. Got My Mojo Working, Manish Boy. Oh, yeah, the great Muddy Waters was born in the state in 1913, passed away in 1983 at the age of 70. A. Bartlett Giamatti, who was the 7th commissioner of Major League Baseball, was born in the state in 1938, passed away at a heart attack at the age of just 51, just a couple of days after he banned Pete Rose from life. He didn't live very long. He was the president of Yale, and he would have been one of the great commissioners of all time, but he only served 1 year before his untimely passing. He was born in the state in 1938. Craig T. Nelson, the actor, producer, director, is 75. Craig T. Nelson, by the way, was born and raised, there he is, was born and raised in Spokane. He was in Coach, of course, Poltergeist, they're here, Parenthood, and he was originally offered the role of Jay Pritchett on the sitcom Modern Family. He wanted too much money. They couldn't negotiate. They couldn't work out a deal, so Craig T. Nelson didn't get the job as Jay Pritchett. Ed O'Neill did, and it worked out fine for everybody. Craig T. Nelson is 75, and Robert Downey Jr., one of the best actors currently working today, also produces, writes his own screenplays. He's 54 today. Somebody should probably tell him. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Also, Kennel Cameos with Precious the Dog, but first a friendly reminder about Campbell's and the special local rate that they have between now and April 15th. So you're running out of time. You got 9 more days to do this. It's for locals only. They want you to come up and enjoy Campbell's when it's still kind of quiet. And Lake Chelan hasn't gone all nuts like they always do between Memorial Day and Labor Day. So get up and spend a nice quiet weekend or even a couple of weekdays at Campbell's. Enjoy the fine food, drink some wine, and sit out on the deck and enjoy some nice weather. It's a locals discount only for us folks here. It starts at just $95 a night. That's a pretty good deal. Give Campbell's a call, and they'll make it work for you, all right? It is 34 minutes after the hour. It's time for Kennel Cameos with Megan McPherson.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCW Life channel. We are here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and joining us this week is Precious. Can you tell us about Precious?
Yes, Precious is about 2.5 years old. She's a delightful gal. We know that she's lived in a home with kids before. She's super active. She goes to playgroup here at the shelter, so she likes other dogs. She would like to have a family. She'd like to be inside with an active family. She gets along well pretty much with everybody. If you meet her, you'll love her.
And if someone wants to adopt her, what should they do?
They should come on down here to the shelter and go ahead and meet Precious and get to know her and hopefully adopt her.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
It's always been a dream of mine to own a home. She had credit, I didn't.
And I was like, you know what, let's just go talk and see what we could do to move forward.
We walked into Guild Mortgage. I didn't think home ownership was possible. Tracy had a plan for us. Small things that we could do to establish credit. Honestly, before you knew it, the next step was go home, build your dreams, live happily ever after.
RLS Productions is proud to bring to the NCW Life channel the Concerts in the Gardens Summer Series held at Omi Gardens. The series features performances from Rare Earth's Peter Rivera, Heart by Heart, Two Slim and the Tail Draggers, The Infinity Project, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, and a whole host of other great acts. Tune in Wednesdays at 1:30 and 7 p.m. and Fridays and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. RLS Productions Concerts in the Gardens Summer Series, only on the NCW Life channel.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive, no nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Like I've said before, I'm a regular churchgoer, so I run into this guy who I used to see at church, and as I haven't seen him for a while, I asked him, where's he been? Is everything okay? He said, I stopped coming, and the reason was I've been going there to church for a year, and no one has ever invited me out to lunch. Now, what kind of reason is that? Was he going to church to arrange lunch dates? And what I should have asked him is, did you ever invite anyone to lunch? Wouldn't it be a good idea if maybe we should do unto others what we would have them do to you, rather than expect people to do to you just because you happen to be there? This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Kerry Condata from the 12th District. We are going in session with direct reports from your legislators in Olympia. We'll get the straight story every week. We'll add the national, state, and local news and have it all wrapped up for you right here on the 12th District. Check it out.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck, you would load up your stuff, you would rent a storage unit, you would transport it, and finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you, we drop it off, then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere. So when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now or visit localtel.net to learn more.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Saturday, April 20th is the annual Walk MS fundraiser, raising money to eradicate, eliminate, 86, get rid of multiple sclerosis. Unfortunately, they've been doing this for 23 years, so we're not there yet. But there's always hope, and the local event organizer has been a friend of mine, has been on this show, I don't know how many times, Pat?
A lot.
A lot.
Started on the radio.
Yeah, and then you've come to visit me here on.
Yep.
Now that we made the transition to television, because as
yes.
you well know, only good-looking people get to be on TV.
Of course,
Pat, so there
of
you
course.
go.
Thank
Pat
you.
Quinn-Williams is my guest. Pat's husband, Rich, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. How long ago? 25?
45.
45 years ago.
45 years ago.
But he's doing good. Can you give us a little Rich update while you're on
yeah, in fact, Rich just had his annual checkup on Monday with his doctor in Seattle, and he's still very stable on the medicine that he's in. But the doctor let us know was great news on Friday. The FDA approved 2 more disease-modifying drugs.
Okay.
And that brings the total to 17 or 18.
Wow.
So.
And every MS case is different, and there's a different cocktail of pills that one may have to take.
And you put 10 people in a room, you'll get 10 different sets of symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so difficult to diagnose, because everybody is totally different. My husband Rich is different than the one gal, Jessica, who comes on here. Their symptoms are totally different.
And yet, with enough patience and enough time, they find the right combination that works, or at least helps eradicate the symptoms. Rich they finally figured out the proper cocktail that he takes of drugs just a couple of years ago, and he's had it for,
and he's had it for that long. They didn't come up with any disease-modifying drugs till like 1990, and in 92 he was able to get, right after the test group on the first medicine, beta-seron, so he gave himself a shot every other day. Thank goodness after about 10, 15 years, they came up with a pill form. So he's been on the one pill form. The street name is Abagio, and that has kept him totally stable. So we're
it's
lucky
also a
that
nice
that's
resort
worked.
in Vegas. I stay at the Abagio all the time.
There we go. Yes, haha. Yes.
But he's doing well. That's good.
Yes.
It's the key is he's not getting worse. He's not.
No, and
he's staying there.
The key to the medicines are it keeps you at your level. So that's why it's important when you do get diagnosed to get in, find which medicine works for you, so you can stay at that same level that you're at.
And I'm not a medical doctor, and Pat certainly isn't.
No.
But how does one know? What are there's something wrong. I might have MS. You can't just go to WebMD because, as you mentioned, there's different
types of symptoms. A lot of people have, like Rich's came on, for him it was a little easier because he woke up one morning and his whole left side was paralyzed, essentially, and that went away eventually. But back then in the 70s, all they had was a spinal tap, which is not that good. Nowadays, luckily, they have MRIs that can be more detailed, but people have fatigue. They can have what's called optic neuritis, where it's inflammation of your optic nerve. So depending on the types of symptoms, and again, it's an autoimmune disease, so it's attacking your autoimmune system, and there's a lot of the same symptoms that go with other diseases.
And we've talked about this before as well. For some strange reason, and there are theories, the Pacific Northwest area has a much higher than normal rate
Right,
of
they
multiple
have.
sclerosis.
They've figured out that now it's Vermont, Minnesota, and Washington State are the 3 top in the country. Again, they're all along that same northern latitude that they've figured out, and a lot of people are a Northern European descent. So those 2 things seem to be the makeup of people with MS. But then again, you could have someone that's South American or whatever,
Sure.
you know, and everything. But they found that the farther you're away from the equator, the higher the incidence is.
Is it hereditary by nature?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I have a friend, Jessica. Her mother also has it, but that doesn't mean Rich, he's the only one in his family, but he grew up in Spokane.
Which has a very high rate.
Right, and so they think, is it something to do with Hanford? But he had 3 other students in his high school class that also have MS.
Yeah, something, there's
something in the water
something
there.
Yeah, I know we love the Lilac City, but that's,
yeah,
that's odd indeed. We talk about Jessica. Jessica Johnson, of course, is the executive director of SAGE, and she's been on this show a bunch of times. We love Jessica. Normally, she brings Hank
yes.
the dog with her. But she couldn't make it today. She had a last second. She sent me an email like 10:30 last night. Said I got some stuff at work and I can't make it down. So anyway, I wish Jessica was here, but you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Let's talk about Saturday, April 20th, and we got photos. Our friend, your friend of mine, Candy, sent me all of these photos, and just as we go through the photos, Pat, describe what we're looking at.
This looks like might be Candy's team. We have lots of teams that show up. Again, it's a fundraiser. We have it down at Walla Walla Park at the shelter that's closest to the playground. And again, we're going to be, the marathon's in the morning on the trail, and then we're at 1 o'clock. And again, if you would like to sign up, it's walkms.org.
Pretty simple.
Or you can call 1-855-372-1331. They changed the number on me this year, so I don't know it like I used to know.
All I did was Google Walk MS Wenatchee, and everything came right up, everything I needed to know. We got some more photos. Again, this is all courtesy of our friend.
Water Divas,
yes.
that is my team.
That's your team, because you ladies are pool demons, right?
Yes. We all work out at the Eastmont Pool through the YMCA, and a lot of years ago we came together with a team, and I have a statue that someone gave me of a frog in a bathing suit sitting on the world, and we decorate the frog up as the Water Diva. So
here you go. Next photo, please. There's Elbow.
And there's Elbow. Candy with Elbow. She's on Elbow's team, and they're one of our up-and-coming teams that are getting bigger every year.
That's good. Candy's husband suffers from
some MS. Yes.
And you'll find that story a lot. A lot of the people who are participating, you are included.
Yes.
They have either they have MS or somebody in their family or somebody they're close to is suffering from multiple
sclerosis.
And
the thing, I've met so many people, and they ask Rich, why are you in a wheelchair? And he's like, well, I have MS. Oh, my mom has it. Oh, my aunt has it. My sister's friend's boyfriend has it.
Yeah.
So everyone has a lot of people have a connection to it.
Is there, as we go through more photos, there's people having fun. Is there an organized support group for MS family people and stuff like that?
We've had it off and on, and so we're still working at that. We do have there's my team. Yeah. We do have an autoimmune network support group here in town, and we have people with MS and other autoimmune diseases, and that's also, they have a Facebook page, that Wenatchee Autoimmune Network.
And if it looks like everybody's having a good time, there's a reason for that. Everybody is having a good time.
It's fun. It's a stroll. You can walk or go as fast as you want on the trail. We have a 1, a 2, and a 3 mile walk. Healthy snacks along the way. Some of my, and at the end, Abby's Pizza.
As always.
And Abby's has been there since day one. And I think this is about the 28th year they've done it. And Abby's has been there since day one. We also have Crunch Pack, Weinstein Beverages, Treetop, Applets and Cotlets. Everyone likes those. And Odom brings some water, extra water for us. And I have to give a shout out to the Boy Scouts. They've also been with us a really long time. Len and his group are great. We've gone through 2 or 3 groups. They've gotten old and they've moved on, and And the moms are the best. They've just always been there to help us out.
The National MS Walk people give Pat a hand as far as logistics are concerned. You saw that big arch that travels from MS Walk to MS Walk for the start and the finish. But once it's on your table, this is all, you mentioned the Boy Scouts, somebody else. It's pretty much volunteer-run organization.
It's all, volunteer. We have somebody come over from the Spokane office to help us kind of do some of the bigger things. But it was up to me to kind of help get the sponsors, and then every year they call them back up, and we appreciate that they want to do it. I do a lot of the pickups, and so again, it's a fun time. It's Easter weekend, so bring that. Everybody's going to be in town. Mom, grandma,
Sure.
Cousins, everybody. Bring them down and have a fun afternoon. We've had groups come from the Okanagan. We have a group that comes every year from Ellensburg, and people have picnics afterwards, and it's just a
hopefully the
fun
weather will
time.
cooperate.
Yes, we're hoping
it's too far down the road for us to give
right.
any kind of accurate weather.
Still a few weeks away.
Yeah, it'll be sunny and 70. There.
Yes,
there, I just
that
said.
would be a perfect ideal.
And you have to share. And this happened for the first time a couple of years ago. The Wenatchee Marathon is on the same day as on Saturday, April 20th, and they start downtown and they go out.
Yes.
On the trail. But you guys have been, it's worked out fine.
It's
right?
worked out, yeah. Ted Feingold, the original owner, we got on the phone one day and spent 20 minutes figuring out how we could do it, and it worked out, and people love having it in the afternoon for our group. We used to be at 10 in the morning, and he was like, well, you'll have 1,000 runners coming at you at 10 a.m. Okay, we don't want that.
They want you to register. This is a really important thing. You got to register in advance. In fact, the deadline is the Thursday before the Saturday, the 20th, to get yourself registered, to get your shirt, to get your team together, and all that stuff. And why is pre-registration such an important thing as opposed to just showing up and helping you out?
Just to help them, again, the logistics of getting everybody there, knowing how many people are going to come. All of a sudden, 50 people show up that they weren't expecting, and so it just helps with the numbers, helps with the coordination of getting everything together.
Makes perfect sense to
Yes.
me. But it happens every year. We talk about this because people are just out enjoying a beautiful day on along the trail at Walla Walla Point Park and Riverfront Park, because it's gorgeous. It's a great place. It's teeming with people, and then people go, "What's going on here? What's that big orange thing?" And then they walk up, and before you know it, they're giving you money.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens all the time.
And you know that these organizations love money. We'll take your dollar.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you can go the 1 mile route or the 3 mile route. You can just give them money. What if you say, I want to help you out. I got plans on the 20th. I don't have a team, but I still want to just donate so we can.
Again, they can go to the walkms.org website.
Okay.
And it'll say, there's a sign that says donate. And if you know somebody, you can scroll down to their name or their team and donate to their team specifically, or just to the organization. The nice thing about in Washington State, we do tons of research in Seattle. So a lot of the money, some stays here to help local people with appointments, or they need equipment or something, and the rest goes to Seattle. So we're so fortunate that they have that, because now Rich's doctor said 900,000 people in the country are diagnosed with MS.
That's
20,000 every year that they come up with.
That's 900,000 too many.
Too many, yes.
But the key is this is not a vicious cycle. It's just we can't figure it out. They're making progress.
They're making progress.
It's
we're slowing stuff down, and like Rich's doctor said, we're slowing it down. Now we need something to help build those people up. After they've gotten down, they got to get stronger.
The Walla Walla Point Park picnic shelter is where you start, right?
Correct.
And that everybody gets together about noonish. There's some
Get around
entertainment.
noon to sign in and everything,
Okay.
and I have a program, and a friend of mine, Mike Bills, comes, and the last 4 or 5 years he's come, and he just sings his heart out. We just appreciate it so much.
Well, you're a hard person to say no to. And then you do it, and then afterwards the party continues with the pizza and stuff like
and
that.
snacks, and bring a picnic if you want to have more afterwards, and make it a family event. Like I said, it's Easter weekend, and so people are in town.
And there's a lot of teams. You can organize a team. You can do all of this online. You
Yes.
can say, we got
Have a team and
stupid.
And if your team's one of the top 3 fundraisers every year, they offer that you can have a tent. That's where you saw my team sitting there. We have a tent, and I have a couple gals. I'm like, you decorate it. I'm too busy. And we kind of do a Hawaiian theme. That's what they like to do, and so.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good people doing this, too.
Right, and yeah, we
So.
like to build every year. We need more people to come.
And this is
enjoy.
your 23rd, is that what you said?
This is my 23rd year of being in charge of it.
Okay. Is there any chance at all that you won't have to do one for your, say, 25, that, hey, we got it? I mean,
I would love that, yes.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yes, it would be.
It really would be fantastic. You were on our good friend KPQ's radio station the other day, and you were upset because you didn't get all the sponsors in.
Right.
So I'm going to give you a chance, Pat, to get all the sponsors in. Without that, this doesn't happen. So it's all
right.
yours.
Again, Abby's Pizza has been here since day one. Crunch Pack, Weinstein Beverage, Applets and Cotlets, Treetop, Odom. Those are the big main sponsors, and there's always the national sponsors, and they get plenty of. We want to do our local people, and because we appreciate that they will help us out every year.
Does everybody who has a team, they get one of those things? How does one get a shirt?
Get a shirt after you have to raise, I think it's $100.
Oh, that's easy to do.
It's easy nowadays, yes.
And is it one of those deals you just get people? It's not like a bowl-a-thon where the more pins you knock down, the more money you raise, nothing like that.
They used to have, you could do it for how far? They used to walk 4 miles or 10 miles, which when I did it, walking around the whole loop, I can ride it. And walking's a little bit harder.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a serious.
Because I know I've done the bike MS, which was 150 miles in 2 days. Yeah.
I get tired driving 150 miles in 2 days.
So, now, like I said, you can go online, or if you know somebody, you can give them a donation.
It's not a competition, although every time we do these things, and I've been down these a bunch of times, there's always those people who have to win. They have to come in first.
Yeah.
The
idea is to get that money. Yeah, get the money for research.
Before I forget, what about kids? I mean, if the kids are actually walkable, they can't physically walk as being pushed in the do they stop to register? How does that work for kids?
We have, in fact, we have one of the gals on our team. Since her son has been born, he's been one of our team members. And so every year they call up, they go, Braxton doesn't have an email. And I'm like, Braxton's 6 now, And they do need to be registered just for liability.
That's perfectly understandable.
Yes, and that's all it is. And you bring the stroller. We do ask that you don't bring a dog, just because some people are great stewards with their dogs, other people are not. And we've had a few dog fights. And and there's tons of people on the trail, so please, leave your dog at home just for these few hours.
It's just common. It's for one thing, it's common sense.
Hundreds of people, on the trail.
Yeah, when you combine the fact that the Wenatchee Marathon is going on, and there'll still be guys out running the marathon.
Yes, we have a few people right at the end.
And then you have the MS walk, and then just the general public. That place will be, and it's always teeming.
Yes.
With people. I mean, I know that's why I like to get up Saturday morning and head on down to the Pybus and grab my cup of Joe and do some visiting, because I'm always like 1,500 people I know down there.
Of course.
And then you're off to the trail, and it's always teeming with people.
Right.
So it's just common sense, common courtesy.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. Again, it starts and ends at the picnic shelter at Walla Walla Point Park. It's very plainly marked. If you just want to do the 1 mile thing or the mile and a half,
we have it all.
You go out there, you turn around. There's rest stops.
And there's like nice healthy snacks at the rest stops. And and we have places for you to turn around. There's bathrooms and a nice trail.
When it's all said and done, we got about a minute left. You got the pizza from Abby's, and you got the beverages from Weinstein. Thank you very much. Is there any kind of formal thing, or is it just everybody has pizza and has a good time? And
just when you show up at the end, they're cheering you on. You saw the big thank you sign, and it's just a nice time. Everybody gets together and visits and make friends again.
And it's going to be sunny and 70 degrees.
It is. We guarantee it.
It's going to be simple as that. What's it going to take to get you out of business? What's it going to take to make this thing go away? I mean, I know we're getting there, and the big...
Get in there. Let's get a cure and get it taken care of.
Yeah, is Rich going to be there?
Of course he is.
With his smile on and everything?
Mr. Head Volunteer.
And you've had people who've been doing this from day one. I mean, it's not just you. You've had other people who every year... Their team is there, or they're there, and they're on board, and they're.
Again, we've had teams that have been there since day one. So
it's
fun to see those people every year. Hi, how are you? Glad you could make it.
I just wish you didn't have to do this damn thing anymore.
It's like every
year, but we'll make it happen.
Yes.
It's always good to see you, Pat.
Thank you.
Walk MS Wenatchee. Walk MS Wenatchee. Type that in your Google search bar. Everything you need is right there. Sign up, everything, the whole 9 yards. Pat, have yourself a great time. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
We will be back tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.